you know, a lot of information as relates to these companies, you know, they put gag orders on the cases so you can't find out because, of course, it'll bring down that value of the stock.
Yeah.
People lose money.
All right.
But I would always, when you in the scene and you get to a certain level, everybody discusses what goes on behind closed doors. And, you know, my friends know I would tell them stuff that happened, and then later on it comes out in the news.
Yeah.
So, you know, they'd be like, the Oracle. I was like, nah, that had nothing to do with it. You just got to be in the know. Just like guys who sell drugs.
Yeah.
They know when it's about to get dry in the streets.
Yeah.
They know when the dope is good, and they know when the dope is bad. They know who's moving it when you get to a certain level. It's the same way with technology. And everything with technology is some form of organized crime.
Why didn't the feds try to recruit you instead of harass you?
Number one, because they had a problem that I was black.
Really?
Yeah, you know, people from different crime families. Can't nobody say nothing negative against me. Like I say, my integrity is intact. You know, I always made sure I did good to everybody.
Yeah.
And I had no problems helping anybody with anything. And I formed a lot of good relationships with individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, the government is trying to talk to me like I'm a dog, or just, oh, you're going to do this. And I would tell them, because, you know, I was arrogant and cocky at the time, I'm like, I'm not doing shit. Now, if you can kick my ass, I'll do it. But I'll kick your ass, and your ass, and we can do this at the same time.
Yeah.
And that cockiness came from me growing up in the nation, but at the same time from my instructors. And my instructors were Black Navy SEALs. That created a very unique form of martial arts that's aggressive, but extremely effective. So, you know, when you fight more aggressive than most people and you fight all the time, you gain experience, like an MMA fighter. The average person cannot fight an MMA fighter.
Correct.
Number one, your aim is going to be off. Your directional flow is going to be weak. Your wind is going to be down.
Yeah.
And the way we fight and train is aggressive, and it's made to be in a combat situation on the streets. It's not like what you get when you do competition martial arts.
Yeah.
Because I remember one day me and instructor son, we was driving around Detroit trying to get people to challenge us. And everybody was willing to challenge us until they found out who our instructor was. And when they found out who our instructor was in our school, they was like, nah, we're not challenging y'all. So, you know, shouts out to 36 Chambers, martial arts school, RIP to my instructor, Jawad Kanjana.
Yep. Listen, you know I got to have you back.
Yes, sir. No problem.
You know I got to have you back, bro. Because I got so many other questions.
Yeah, it's a lot of crazy stories. Like in my heyday, everybody used to love to try to, you know, get me high, get me drunk, which didn't work.
Yeah.
And they want to hear the stories because the stories is crazy. But we're working on a documentary. Yeah. You know, it's very political. So now, after 25 years, my case is no longer a national security issue, and I can discuss things. And, you know, all that arrogance and cockiness, no, I don't want no smoke. Because U.S. government, they worse than the niggas on the street when it comes to how they operate. And anybody will tell you that. They don't have anything to do with race. You know, I actually was in cell with the head of the, allegedly the head of the Ohio crime family. Okay. And he told me how they literally would just pick up his family members and drive around in the car. And they knew they was on medication. They knew they needed oxygen, and they wouldn't give them neither. And he had family members that almost died. Dang. But like I said, this is the U.S. government working for the U.S. government. So they get away with murder.
And they got every disposable resource that they...
Yeah. And whatever the government says, the government believes. And they don't have to prove it. It just sounds good enough, so they go with it. So, you know, I got crazy stories. We're going to do a lot of reenactments because, you know, everybody want to know how. How did you do it? Where did you do it? Because, you know, all of this was happening in the city and throughout the city, and we changed a lot of things as it relates to technology in this country. So we're going to do reenactments. And, you know, in academia, we have what's called primary information. That's the best source of information. And everybody is coming forward to tell their stories of what occurred. So, you know, I got to give a shout out to everybody that's going to participate. It's a who's who of in Detroit and entertainment.
Yep.
You know, strip clubs, after hours.
Well, anything you need from
etc.
me, you just let me know, bro.
Yes, sir.
Anything you
Greatly
need from me.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Any resource that I have at my disposal, you got at your disposal. I'm sure you already know that anyway, either way, right?
Yeah, I had an offer to tell this story over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But they wanted to Columbus my story.
What do you mean?
Well, they made me sign a NDA, so I can't say that who it was, but they wanted to say that Cybertr0n was this geeky black kid who befriended some white guys.
Why do they want to change us? Why they just don't let it be what it is that you say it? Say that it is.
Because a black man can't be this intelligent. A black man can't run his own crew. A black man can't be considered as an equal amongst his peers. You know, we always have to be inferior. So they wanted to make it seem like I learned everything from the white guys, and they eventually allowed me to tag on,
Yeah.
and they taught me everything I knew. And you know what they was offering, it was okay. You know, it was in the six figures. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And it wasn't until certain events that occurred when I was in the first documentary, and the producer, he said, yeah, you need to try to, if you and your guys are capable, the only way you're gonna be able to do this documentary, you're gonna have to do it yourself.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
You know, try to get everybody who was around to participate, and you know, I'm gonna help you out. So you know, I gotta greatly thank the producer from Cybertr0n Inc. for even giving me that opportunity.
Well, listen, man, you got me at your disposal.
Yes, sir.
Look, I don't know how to end this. I usually, it's very easy for me, but it's just got so many things going through my mind and so many questions. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned in. This will not be the last time that we had this conversation. I do want to give you a sincere appreciation for even coming through, bro.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you even giving me the opportunity. You know, it's a...
Well, you gave me the test.
Yeah.
I ain't going to tell y'all what the test is, because then y'all going to know how to pass it real easily. But he gave me a test when we were coming up here. So I don't know if that was intentional or if that was just happenstance.
Just happenstance.
Everything is not happenstance. I believe that it was intentional.
It was a little bit intentional because, you know, I'm retired. You know, I'm all about Africology.
Yeah.
Trying to uplift my culture in a positive way. I don't want nobody to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have to lead by example. So, you know, we have to get out in the community. We have to teach the youth.
Yeah.
And I don't waste my time with adults. I don't waste my time with debating. Like Dr. Clark told us, I only debate my equals, all others I teach.
For sure.
And for us to have a change positively in our communities, we have to use the children.